The time of the movie and everything, why is it still relevant to us today, right now?
Well, I suppose it's not difficult to trace the direct lineage between that great achievement in amending the Constitution in that moment and what's taking place in now. It's hard to imagine that our current president would be where he is today, and thank goodness he is, had this not taken place when it did. So.
And your portrayal of Lincoln is astonishing. What was it about him that you saw like he was perfect for this role?
Well,
the nose, I think, wasn't it?
It must have been the nose, and I think the hair and the beard came along in the bargain too. I think that wasn't makeup.
Free beard.
No, here's somebody who I have wanted to work with ever since I saw Laundrette and ever since I saw My Left Foot, and I've really wanted to work with Daniel. Actually approached Daniel with another Lincoln project almost 8.5, 9 years ago. Wasn't quite right for Daniel at the time, but Tony Kushner came along, wrote a brilliant script based on Doris Kearns Goodwin's book Team of Rivals, and that got my foot in the door and Daniel's foot in the door.
Luckily, we spent enough time with each other communicating whatever way we could before we ever reached the set. We felt, I think, very much at ease with each other, a great complicity in every area of the work. And Stephen, who could quite easily, if he wished to, run a pretty tight ship, is incredibly open to the input of everybody that he works with, and that's always a joyful thing when somebody is just open to the work of the people around them.
Why is Lincoln's story relevant today? Well, at that time, the country was really horrendously divided, and I guess there's some equivalence with the country today. I think what I love about this movie is it shows Lincoln as a human being that had to make compromises and even sometimes make mistakes, and had a goal that was a valiant goal to try to end slavery. But at the time, it was really controversial. And, back then, the country was really divided over this. Nowadays, we look back on slavery and we're like, well, obviously that needed to end very badly. But it just goes to show how some of the things that we hold so dear to us sometimes aren't the right thing. Daniel Day-Lewis is a phenomenon. He's unique amongst living actors, in my opinion. And what he's done in this movie is unlike anything I've ever seen.
It is very relevant. It is a time in that history, in this history, that really correlates, and that both sides are entrenched in an ideology and no one can see the big picture that moves us all forward. And I think besides that, Lincoln really is a character study of a handful of people that really changed what America is today, and I think ultimately you go away feeling that we still have this dream, this promise of what this country is and should be and could be, and what democracy is on a world level.
What was it like working with Daniel Day-Lewis and his portrayal of Lincoln?
He's a very fine actor, one of the very finest of the century, maybe of the media. He very well prepared, knows what he's doing. It's a pleasure to work with Daniel.
Tonight, Jennifer Lopez launches our first annual Entertainment Tonight Power List. The leader in entertainment news is honoring the women who are leading the way in 2012. Jennifer invited one show, that would be E.T., to Istanbul, Turkey, complete with exclusive backstage access as she has a last-minute huddle with her love, Casper Smart. Forbes magazine reported she made $52 million. She has 12.8 million Twitter followers, and Jennifer is on her first world tour. The stop is between concerts in Russia and Bulgaria. But first, E.T.'s Powerless Quiz. What's the best advice she's ever gotten?
The best advice I ever got was probably from my mother. She was like, listen, you better toughen up if you're gonna be in that business. She was right. You gotta be tough.
Her toughest decision this year
Was leaving American Idol. That was a tough one.
Jennifer's one indulgence.
I just have to just be one. I like to, buy shoes. I like to take baths. I like massage. I like girly things.
The most surprising song on her iPod.
I think it's a Keith Urban song with the cat in the sweater. Take your cat, believe my sweater.
And does Jenny from the Block remember her first ET interview?
I don't even want to see that.
It hasn't been overnight, okay? There is no such thing as overnight in this business.
I don't want to see how my hair was, what my makeup looked like, how my accent was.
How about J-Lo's guilty pleasure?
The really cheesy reality shows. I'll watch any one of those if they come on. And then I'm like, why am I watching this? This is wrong.
Now, that's some powerful table flipping. Well, our power list is just beginning. Jessica Simpson, Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, they are all in the running. So find out who else made our list tomorrow. And Jamie Foxx just told me that he is actually working on a deal to play the villain in that movie. Now, this man is so talented. He acts, he sings, and he has a mean jump shot, as I found out when we went one-on-one. Well, of course, I'm only going to show the shot I made. I went to Jamie's house, set on 40 acres in the Santa Monica Mountains, where the gracious star had invited a group of inspiring young men on his court. It was being announced he's being named the national spokesperson for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
This is the first time I'm meeting these kids. But what we want to try to do is, with the help of what you're doing right now, let the whole world know what we're doing.
What Big Brothers Big Sisters does is provide mentors for at-risk kids.
We're very thankful to Jamie for all the input that he's given to us and look forward to our relationship going forward.
You couldn't gotten anybody better.
Oh, hey,
no.
absolutely.
I'm Jamie's biggest fan.
No, I'm his biggest fan.
Jamie knows how to have a good time, but the good man sees this as an opportunity to change kids' lives.
You know, we get such a charmed life and you get paid all this money. It makes sense to turn around and do something great with it. Because I was the only child, I missed some of that, brothers and sisters all the way around you all the time. So me having 2 kids now, it's like you stop living for yourself at a certain point. You start living for them. So hopefully I can show them some of that magic and they'll take that and, they'll have some good experiences.
Oh, he is such a genuine and special man. And you will see more of my interview with Jamie next week.
The Duke of Cambridge receiving a standing ovation inside and sharing with everyone his experience living on the streets. The Duke of Cambridge receiving a standing ovation inside and sharing with everyone his experience living on the streets for one night with Centerpoint.
About this time, a few years ago, for one night, I gave up the warmth and comfort of my bed and tried sleeping on the streets of London. Of course, this was just one night. I was cold but safe, and I knew I had a home waiting for me. Many others have no such luck. The cold streets are the only reality they know. And yet so often their spirit shines through. What these unfortunate men, women, and young people could achieve given the right opportunities is limitless. I really, really believe that. After that night, the chief executive of Centerpoint, Shani Abakan, and I decided that Centerpoint should set itself a goal to eradicate homelessness in the next 10 years. We are now several years into that decade, and the problem remains as acute as ever. Centerpoint hasn't given up on that ideal. These deserving young people haven't given up. Ladies and gentlemen, nor must we.
And now, why did Charlie Sheen give Lindsay Lohan a reported $100,000? Well, they've worked together on Scary Movie 5, and now Charlie opens up for the first time to our Chris Jacobs.
They owed her money, didn't pay her, so I took care of it.
Here's Charlie and Lindsay in bed together while shooting their cameo for the upcoming Scary Movie 5.
My whole code's about pay it forward. Yeah. And she got shorted, and I found out, so I said, here.
But Sheen says he hasn't heard from Lohan since reportedly giving her $100,000 to help with her debt.
Still waiting for a text. Say thank you. Anything, you know?
Maybe this will prompt that. Lindsay?
Come on, Linz.
If you're watching, maybe she was rendered speechless.
And fingerless.
Yeah,
yes.
thumb.
But I wish her the best, and she just needs a little bit of time. People need to give her some time to just get her together, you know. Get her act together, sorry. Very, very good and decent young lady that's just, going through a lot.
Lohan has a hearing in court on Wednesday, but in the meantime, she's been spotted around town with Max George from The Wanted.
I'm glad you came.
No stranger to controversy, Sheen gave the troubled star some advice.
I told her to lead with humor, not in an arrogant way, but just to not create the illusion or reveal the reality that things are getting to her as much as they appear to be.
Yeah.
Because then it gives traction to all that stuff, and
right.
And you suffer. But I mean, you can't last as long as she has and be that talented and not have some plan to get out of this mess,
Well, Charlie also shared some anger management news. He tweeted this photo with CeeLo Green, who shot a guest spot for an upcoming episode. Season 2 starts January the 17th on FX. Fortunately, there was no blackout at the Oscar class photo. I mean, it's hard enough getting more than 160 nominees to pose for one picture. So how did they do it? And who was not in the picture? I was there to get all the answers.
This is one I'll always remember. I mean,
really?
The whole room is filled with nominees.
I felt very guilty because I was called before De Niro, and then De Niro, they put him up in the thing, and I was gonna just say, Bob, sit here, and I'll go up, and then I thought maybe that'd mess up the whole thing, but yeah, so I started to get stressed out about it.
It took 31 minutes and 8 seconds to assemble the nominees. On the top row was Ben. Standing in front of him, Amy Adams. Bradley Cooper was sandwiched between Naomi Watts and 9-year-old Quincy Wallace, who got a little giddy when she took her seat. But who was missing? Daniel Day-Lewis, who was sick with a near 102-degree fever. Fellow Best Actor nominee Hugh Jackman was the man next to that Golden Guy Oscar, and Hugh shared a hug and a few whispers with Jessica Chastain.
The Oscar statuette was in the middle,
That little fella right in the middle.
And we were standing there and we were taking about 6-7 photographs, and all of a sudden the inner 7-year-old so wanted to put the old bunny ears just above that. I really could have done it without anyone seeing. And I said, Jessica, I'm thinking, we're looking at the camera, I'm really thinking about doing the bunny ears. She goes, that's funny, don't do it.
So you didn't do it?
No, and I thought, this should probably right.
And that's all right, Hugh. I've got you covered in our photo. Now, of course, in that Oscar class photo, the Best Actor nominee wasn't too far from Anne Hathaway. Sally Field joked with Joaquin Phoenix, laughing she was so short she wouldn't be seen. But check it out, there she is. And on the top row, lovely in white, is Jennifer Lawrence.
A fashion moment that I wish I could take back was accepting the SAG awards and the bottom of my dress falling off. I would definitely take that back.
But it didn't really fall off.
No,
right?
it didn't really fall off. It just gave the appearance of falling off, which is just the same. It was a separation of the tiers. You can't put a tiered dress on somebody who walks like a linebacker.
Hey, do you remember this photo? Do you remember your Teen Vogue
Oh my
cover
God,
shoot?
yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember this.
Look at how cute you are.
Still loved In and Out.
Yeah, that's true.
Still
huh?
do.
You like it still? I love that about you.
Jen signed the pic.
My favorite show ever. You're the best.
It can be seen in Teen Vogue out now. It even caught Bradley's eye. But wait until you see what happened when we connected the stars with their fans using the cool live video chat app, Uvu.
So who's going to be your date to the Oscars?
My mother.
Aww. That's precious.
She's speechless. She doesn't know what to look at her. She doesn't know what to say. What does your mom think? What did she say when she first heard you were nominated?
She was crying, yeah.
She was?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see her in person?
No,
or
we
on
were,
the phone?
yeah. She lives with me.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know you were
Oh,
on.
yeah.
You're kidding.
It's since my dad passed away, yeah.
Oh,
Bradley, can you get more adorable?
Well, it's just the way it is if you grew up in an Italian household.
So we have a fan who has a question for you.
Well, I'm talking to it? Or?
Yeah, you're talking to the person. It's not an it, it's a she.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hi, my name's Tammy. My question is, I know one of your daughters got to go to the Golden Globes with you.
Right.
Which person is getting to go to the Academy Awards?
You! You want to go? Well, no, see, my wife can't go. My wife's doing a play in Atlanta, and she can't go. My daughter that went to the Golden Globe, she's back in college, so she can't go.
She's fainted because she thinks she's going with you now. So do you, Ubu? You might want to head to the App Store and give it a try.
Do your kids think it's cool that their dad's a movie star?
That's a really good question. My daughter, I think, thinks it's cool. My son generally finds it annoying until he's around about 14-year-old girls. And somehow it gets brought up in conversation all of a sudden.
And just check how the conversation is going on here. Helen Hunt fixing Spielberg's tag. They were in the front near Silver Linings director David O. Russell. Who were you standing next to in the photo?
I forget.
Was it Robert De Niro? Do you know who that is?
No.
Hugh Jackman?
I haven't seen a photo, but I heard that name.
Could it have been Jennifer Lawrence?
I heard the name, but I've never seen a picture.
I bet you they all know who your name is.
Yeah.
And incredible to get a copy of that photo, which every nominee gets as a gift. And still to come, which two nominees did not seem to be paying attention when the camera clicked? We are going to tell on them by telling you in just 17 minutes.
Nancy, speaking of celebrity kids, Anna Nicole Smith and Larry Burkhead's little girl, Danny Lynn, is all over Manhattan with her new guest campaign. And she invited us along as she checked it out for the first time. A 6-year-old's image 20 feet tall at America's largest department store.
You were so big, you were a giant.
Her commercials playing in New York City's nearly 13,000 cabs.
That is so cool.
The world's first second-generation guest girl, Anna Nicole and Larry's Danny Lynn.
Who is that?
With her doting dad, Danny Lynn took a spin through Macy's Herald Square.
Ready or not, here I come.
Danny Lynn is posing for the Guess Kids Spring 2013 line, 20 years after her mom's iconic campaign. It was more like a play date than a photo shoot.
This is really something that, she had really fun doing.
Why is it so special that you're doing a Guess ad?
Because my mommy was a guest model too.
And what's your mommy's name?
And
What was your favorite outfit you wore today?
this one.
Will Danny Lynn follow in her mom's footsteps? Only time will tell.
We're doing book reports and Girl Scouts, so that comes first, and we'll see what happens next.
Even though modeling might be in the first grader's genes, her father told us her next assignment is selling Girl Scout cookies.
Now let's turn it over to Brooke and our very special Entertainment Tonight correspondent, Michael Jackson's oldest son, Prince Michael.
Thanks, Nancy. That's right. Prince Michael joins us again, and tonight we will see if my interview pointers paid off. It's your turn now to interview the guys of Oz the Great and Powerful.
Brooke, your advice really helped me feel calm, cool, and confident.
Well, thanks for that, but I'm confident that you're probably always that way. And now everybody's going to see that Prince Michael is a natural. His big moment, just minutes away, Prince Michael takes his seat for the interview, gets a little touch-up, and some last-minute encouragement from me before I bring in the guys. And then it was time to meet director Sam Raimi and stars James Franco and Zach Braff.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you,
Love
sir.
your movies.
How are you,
Thank
James?
so much. Nice to meet you.
Good
I've
to
seen
meet
a lot of
you.
your movies.
Zach. All right, man,
I thought you were great in this movie.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
So I think we want Sam, James, and Zach.
All right.
And I'll be right over here if you need anything, okay?
Sounds good.
Are we your first interview?
Actually, yes, you are.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
That's so cool.
It's a new experience from being
great,
interviewed
man.
to being the interviewer.
We'll be the best interview subjects ever. All right, Prince Michael, it's all you.
Alrighty.
Though Prince Michael turned 16 just 1 week ago today, he showed great poise facing a director and 2 movie stars he admired, even with 4 cameras trained on him and an army of onlookers.
Sam, I really enjoyed the way you portrayed the world of Oz. I thought it was very beautiful.
Thank you for the lovely compliments.
He hardly even directed it.
Some days he just was on speakerphone and would just call in. Well, these guys wouldn't listen to me anyway, so why should I bother coming in?
I might not
actually be a wizard.
And for you, James, I have a question. Your portrayal of Oz was very great. You went from a con man to a character with so much passion and love, especially for the people of Oz. What was that like for you?
I saw that his particular transformation would allow for comedy. Because he's a con man, that would get him into a lot of awkward situations that could be played for comedy.
You can have a nice pile of bananas, all right?
Bananas. Oh, I see. Because I'm a monkey, I must love bananas, right? That is a vicious stereotype.
In the film, out March 8th, Zach is the voice of Finley the monkey. He had to crouch to play the part during filming and was replaced by computer imagery.
But you are one of the greatest monkeys I've ever
Oh,
known.
thank you. Thank you. You know, it's funny, when we made this movie, James had just come off of Planet of the Apes, where he had worked with other computer-generated monkeys.
They are making a sequel to Planet of the Apes. So
Maybe there's room for me.
The movie pros were very encouraging.
You're doing awesome. You're a natural.
Right here, problems with Prince Michael's microphone were obvious. The sound technician came to his aid, and the ease with which he handled the situation impressed the guys even more.
Well, you're a natural at it, man. Good job.
Yeah, you really handled that little mic glitch-like approach, just like you handled everything else. Nothing really rattles you, does it?
I grew up in this business, so I know how to keep my cool.
You know how to handle everything. You were focused, you were unflappable, and tomorrow we're gonna have what happened after you got your audio back.
All right.
And Brooke Anderson is with One Star, Mila Kunis, who is helping to make sure that the world's most precious gems don't come at too high a cost.
Do you like my emerald earrings?
Mila, bringing out the green. I'm with the star of Oz the Great and Powerful, out March 8th, where she's the spokesperson for Gemfield Gemstones. They're gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, check them out.
Mila recently visited the Gemfield Emerald Mines in Africa.
Selfishly, for myself, I want to learn more about Zambia. I want to learn more about the community. I want to be more part of that process and aspect of this company.
Were you able to take anything home with you from Zambia?
Just some in my pocket, but let's not talk about that. I've worn those. Those I just wore. I think I just wore these for the Oz premiere.
A girl's gotta have her bling, right? But Mila's journey quickly evolved into something of a pilgrimage. She connected with the community and was encouraged by the many ways the mining company helped it.
They give them electricity and plumbing.
Gem mining in Africa has long been a hotbed of human rights abuses, as seen in the 2006 Leo DiCaprio film Blood Diamond. But Mila says Gemfield stones don't come at a social cost, which is the whole reason she's involved. What impact did it make on you?
It's an incredible experience that I have not stopped talking about.
Well, if you think Mila's emeralds are impressive, listen to this. The world's largest emerald is 858 carats. It's currently in the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C.
Also, a remarkable story is Paula Deen and all the weight she's lost.
Well, she looks incredible, and Paula, her sons, and her husband have dropped close to 200 pounds together. But when I went down to interview Paula about her weight loss success, a story had just broken on the internet that suggested she was drunk on the Today Show. If you know Paula, you know she likes to have fun, but not like that. Tonight, we get Paula's response.
I was drunk on the Today Show.
Segment just made a left. That's where, set your watches, that's where it all went wrong. Okay.
That is a ball.
A provocative internet report raising the question, was Paula drunk on the Today Show or just having a good time?
Are you kidding? I don't drink. I just never acquired a taste for alcohol, and not even wine. Oh, baby.
Look at you.
I am nothing like you.
I have been waiting so long to meet you.
Oh, my God.
Paula and I met up at the Food Network's South Beach Wine and Food Festival. Warm, kind, what you see is what you get with Paula. And I asked her about that 40-pound weight loss. Has it been difficult to keep it off?
No, just moderation. Like for lunch, I had one French fry with my salad.
Wow, you could stop at one French
Where
fry?
before I had one full order. The key is moderation.
Paula hasn't lost all the weight alone. Her entire family has slimmed down with her. Nearly 200 pounds.
Yes, we have lost nearly 200 pounds.
Have you all been encouraging one another?
Oh, absolutely.
What's your favorite recipe? What's your favorite dish?
Brooke, I
couple dishes.
It's hard to ask a fat girl what her favorite food is. Because you can look at her and tell she pretty much likes it all.
Her work is her passion. And later this spring, Paula will be launching her new line of, what else? Finishing butters.
There's all different kinds of flavors. My butter is being shipped into stores right now as we speak, and I think people are gonna love it.
Having cooked for almost everyone, there's still one person she wishes she'd had the chance to cook for.
I would love to have cooked for Elvis. Oh,
how fun would that have been?
Oh my gosh, I was so in love with him. I saw Love Me Tender 13 times.
You know he would have liked some fried chicken and casseroles and
Honey,
cobblers.
he would have appreciated my cooking.
Who doesn't appreciate Paula's cooking? I was rattling off to her all of her recipes that are my favorites to make. She's got a lot of them.
You gotta love it. I certainly do. And you got Paula to sound off on some other topics too.
I did, including plastic surgery. We talked about that. We also talked to her son Bobby about his new #1 best-selling cookbook. You'll hear all of that tomorrow.
Well, next month, Gwyneth will be back on the big screen with Robert Downey Jr., and we are taking you to the set of Iron Man 3 for another E.T. first.
Oh, yeah.
Robert and Gwyneth's on-screen romance is in full bloom in Iron Man 3.
The relationship with Pepper is obviously the kind of center of the movie.
They're living together. She's moved into his house in Malibu.
I have to protect the one thing that I can't live without. That's you.
And they are in a serious relationship. I got you.
I got you first.
But I discovered when I visited the North Carolina set, their lush life together is about to come undone. Welcome to billionaire Tony Stark's magnificent mansion, which is not so magnificent right now because it's been blown up by a terrorist. So who is the evildoer? Well, signs point to Sir Ben Kingsley, who improvised some of the movie's best moments.
Robert and I are quick. I can throw this at you. I knew you'd throw it back.
You don't know who I am.
Play it back. I need to see it.
Action is certainly at the core of every Iron Man movie, and I got a front row seat. A little movie magic here, look. Hard wall, a little softer here. It opens on May the 3rd, and Shane Black directs Marvel's Iron Man 3. Well, Robert was in Moscow last night having some fun with Ben Kingsley as they promoted the film. And tomorrow he is going to be joined by Gwyneth in Munich. He's really kind of getting around.
Yes, he is.